Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Art Spot. I'm Cyrus Webb. So glad you guys could join us today for our program. This is actually part two of our show that we were doing earlier today. We had some tech issues, so we had to end early. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our friends over on Amazon so we can be able to get into our project that we were working on. And we're now live on Amazon Live for the Art Spot, where it's our time to be able to draw and paint together. I'm your host, Cyrus. Going to do a welcome message for you guys joining us on the Amazon platform. Glad you all could be with us. As I mentioned, we were on earlier today. We had some tech issues and something happened, and anyway, it knocked out our feed. But I am back because I wanted to be able to finish this project that we were working on today. Again, based on my friend Wendy Arsad. I saw this great photo of her on her page, and I asked her. I said, "Wendy, would you mind if I drew your picture?" And she gave me the permission to be able to do it. So what I did was I was inspired by her, so I wanted to be able to work on that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So that's what you guys can look forward to. Now, I want to go through for you guys joining us on the simulcast to kind of walk you through what I've been using. And so, what I've been using for my picture with Wendy Arsad is this great set of art projects from Studio Art. This is a 54-piece art set, and I mentioned it earlier. I want to be able to show it to you guys here while I have it here. This is what it looks like. And again, this is from Studio Art, and it gives you, this is an acrylic painting set, and it comes with paint. It comes with an easel, sponges, even a bucket to be able to put your water in. Now, I'm not using that from my project because I already have my own water bucket that I'm used to using. It has your paint brushes, which I've been using for the painting I'm doing based on Wendy's picture. Also, we have a mixing palette. I am using that. That's what you guys saw me using earlier, the mixing palette. And also, it does have canvas panels as well. So I'm going to open it up so you guys can see. So see you have your acrylic pads there. You do have, as you can see there, some panels there to be able to use. These are some smaller ones. I typically do larger pieces. So I have not used any of that. Only thing I'm using out of here currently is the actual paint. And I'm also using, as I mentioned earlier, the palette because I love this. And these are easy to be able to clean up as well. So again, that's what I'm using for today. So I'm going to go ahead and get back into this. I'm excited about it. I may be able to wrap it up, which would be cool. So let's go ahead and see. So again, this is what we're using from Shutter Art. And again, this is the art, the paint that I was using earlier today. If you guys were part of part one of the art spot, when I was working on my picture of Wendy, this is what I was using. Now, I'm also doing this on a very larger piece. So I was drawing from a photo that she had on Facebook. And so I'm doing mine on an 18 by 24. That's the size that I'm doing of the picture. So if you guys missed it earlier, this is how far I've gotten so far. So I'm excited about this. And we did this in about an hour. So as you can see, we've done a whole lot. And again, using the Studio Art set. That's what we've been using for this. As I mentioned, this canvas that I'm using is an 18 by 24 canvas. That's what I'm using. And I've been just using the pieces of, using the paint that is in the Studio Art set, as well as the paint brushes as well. This is the 12 count paint brushes. Remember, I was showing you that came in the set. That's what I've been using for this particular piece. And again, all of the paint you guys see here is the paint again from Studio Art. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working on today. So I do have some finishing pieces to be able to do on the head wrap, as well as what I've been able to do also for the blouse that I'm giving her. And I did make some creative licenses on this when it comes to the blouse and everything. But again, I just used her picture as inspiration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my red here. And I'm going to be able to do a little bit more brightening with the red here. And again, this is just using my paintbrush again from Studio Art. So you can see there, just going in here. I'm just going to brighten this up some as you can see there. I'm just going to go over this. And again, just to give it some more color there, as you can see. Tell you what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to make myself smaller here because I know you guys really want to see this. So that way you can get a better picture. And again, I'm using my overhead camera for this. And again, for those who don't know, I use StreamYard to do my show here on Amazon Live. Now I'm using my overhead camera. This mount that I'm using is actually here on Amazon. And it was on sale. I'm going to highlight it for you guys in the carousel. This is the overhead camera mount. It just clips onto your desk. That's what I have here. It does come with a ring light up above as well. You can see that, so it gives us a really nice color. So that way it's easier to be able to work on. It does not come, of course, with the camera. It's a different camera that I have attached to it. But you can see the overhead camera mount there. Really nice price on that. So I'm going to go back into my red here. And we're going to do the same thing up here at the top. And again, what we're doing is we're just brightening up the red that we did earlier today. Now that it's had a chance to dry. Okay, you can see there, just like that. Okay. All right, going to go back in here. Got some more of our red, you can see there. Just going to repeat that again here. Again, just brightening up the red that we did earlier today during our first segment with this. Let me go all the way over here like this. And I tell people, you know, I'm very fortunate. Art is something that I've always enjoyed. When I started this show, The Art Spot, you know, it really became just an excuse to be able to do more of my art that I enjoy. Again, some more of the red here. I'm going to go on here. But it's been a lot of fun to work with some great brands here to showcase, especially brands like Studio Art, to showcase their paintings, because it's good for beginners, but also for those who've been painting for a while. You know, I've been painting most of my life, and so I like Studio Art a lot. They have a lot of great products outside of just the set that I'm using for today's show that I do use. So I'm glad to be able to share them with you, because whether you're a beginner or someone who's been painting for a while, if you like to paint with acrylics, this really does come in handy. Okay, going to go here and do a little bit more touching up there, just like that. Okay. Now on my mixing palette, and again, this comes in my Studio Art set, I do have some more red here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, take a little bit more of this red. You can see there. I'm going to put it in the center of our mixing palette. And then I'm going to take another one of my brushes here. I'm going to take some of my blue. We're going to mix this together, make us almost like a little purple. Now, it's true I could have used a purple paint, but because I already had this color here, I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and just use this. Okay. And again, we're just going to mix our color there. I'm going to go right in here, and we're going to use that here. Again, just a nice way to be able to mix up the paint and to give some variety as well. And then, too, another way for us to be able to use some of the paint that we already have on our palette as well. Okay, just like that. Okay, I'm going to go up here, do the same thing. And again, that's the fun thing too about acrylics, and also even for watercolor. I like using watercolor because you are able to do a lot of mixing and playing with it as well. And I enjoy that. It's also part of the creative process, I think, for myself personally, to be able to do something different Now, you may ask, what was I doing down here? So what I'm doing is, what I decided to do is all the colors that I'm using here for her wrap, I'm bringing those colors into her blouse that I created for her here. Okay, so that's what we're doing there. And we'll do more of that here in a second. I'm going to take some more of my purple that I created. I'm going to go right in here in a semicircle, see that? And just bring that into her blouse as well. So basically what I'm doing is I'm making her blouse almost like a combination of all the colors. Then it also, of course, gives it a little bit of variety there as well. And we're just pulling it in, pulling that color in. You can't go wrong with this, especially if you're blending it, which we're going to do more of that as I go down here. So you don't have to really worry about messing anything up with this. As long as you're following that semicircle and not going across like this, you'll be fine. What you want to make sure it does is that it looks like it's wrapping around the body. See that? So you want to make sure that you're doing it as a semicircle, and that's going to help out a whole lot. Okay? Okay? Which is really cool. Go ahead and clean that brush off. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go back into our blue because we have a good amount of that blue left. So I'm going to go into my blue here. Like that. And we're going to go up here. Again, doing some more of the cleanup from earlier today. Just like that. Same thing up here. And see, all it's doing, as you can tell, is just brightening up that color. Because the colors, it's had some time to be able to dry from earlier today. So now what we're just doing is bringing it back to life with another layer here. Just like that. You can see there. So I'm going to go back in. And this is our cerulean blue. That's what I'm using. And again, all of this is part of the Studio Art set. I'm going to go in here like this. And see this, again, bringing in that color there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some more of that blue. We're going to bring that right into her blouse here. I'm going to start here and blend that into the blouse. Just like that. So again, what we're doing is we're making this almost, again, like a collection of the colors that are in her wrap. We're just bringing all those colors down into her blouse. So that way we're creating almost like a symmetry of the colors here, down here. Okay. And this also, as I've mentioned earlier, this is also another way of being able to clean off your brushes. I had this idea to do this when I saw, because in the actual picture that Wendy was wearing, hey, Jacqueline, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. The actual picture that Jacqueline was, not Jacqueline, Wendy, Jacqueline just joined the live there. The picture that Wendy was wearing was black, I think, a solid color. So I wanted to be able to bring in the colors from the wrap, bring those into her blouse to kind of bring those colors in to create like a symmetry there. Thanks, Melissa. Appreciate that. Glad you could join us. Okay. So we've used up pretty much all of our blue there. So what I want to do is I want to clean my brush off again. And our next color we're going to go into will be our green. And again, what we're going to do is spice up the green that we did earlier today. And then we're going to, again, just like we've been doing, we're going to bring that color into the blouse. So again, I'm going to clean off my brush here. And now we're going to go into the green. And again, what we're going to do is go into the green that we did earlier today. We're going to brighten that up because now that it's had time to dry, just going to go in here and brighten up this green. And then what we have left, we're going to bring it into her blouse. So you can see. I'm going to keep that same pattern going all the way across. The thing too, when you're doing like a wrap or a turban, you don't want to have it too smooth because again, if it's going across someone's head, there are going to be almost like creases in it. So that's why you see me with the paint. I'll kind of lighten up on my touch so that you still get those, you see you get the texture that's there with the wrap. Just like that. We're going to do the same thing over on this side. Again, you can see where I did earlier how we had, again, the texture there of the wrap. You don't want to make it too smooth because, of course, you want it to be like it's actually wrapped or tied. I'm going to do that all the way around here. Just like that. And again, still we're keeping that semicircle because that, again, allows us to stay in the line that we were doing earlier. Just like that. And the cool thing, too, about using acrylic paint, and I feel this way, too, about when I'm doing watercolor, is that it does not take it long to dry. Okay, so we did that there. So now we're going to bring that green that I have left, going to bring it back down here into the blouse. So again, every color that we're using it to complete the blouse, you see? And again, keeping that semicircle feel so that it looks like it's draped around her body. See? So again, every color as we use it, we're going to take that same color to the blouse. Just like that. And again, keeping it, again, as a semicircle. Just like that. And again, as I mentioned, the other thing I love about this is a great way of making sure you're not wasting any paint. I mean, this paint is very affordable, but if I can make sure I'm not wasting any, I am kind of thrifty. So I do try to make sure I don't waste any. And doing this, using the paint this way allows me to be able to do that. I haven't quite decided, honestly, what I'm going to do with the background. I have an idea of something, but I haven't quite mapped that out yet. So again, see, I'm taking that green, and again, we're just using it to blend right in. You see how it's all coming together there to be able to blend right into the blouse that she's wearing. Now, again, in the picture, Wendy was wearing, I think, black, but here, of course, because we're taking some creative license here, we can make it whatever color we like. Again, with the green, getting the last bits of it off there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that brush off. I'm going to use that same brush to do the same thing to the yellow. So I'm going to clean that off. So we're going to take our yellow that we have left on our palette. Anissa, hello to you. Good to be able to see you. Anissa says, I'm really liking this one. Sorry, I'm all about the header. Thanks. So, Anissa, I don't know if you heard earlier. So I got this idea from Wendy Arsad. She was wearing in her Facebook picture. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I didn't bring my phone in here with me for this. This is an impromptu show we're doing because I wanted to be able to finish this up. But she she had on this, see if I can pull it up. Oh, there she is. She had on this great wrap. And so I saw this picture, Anessa, and I asked her, I told her, I said, I would really love to be able to draw this. So this is what she was wearing. And so basically I just took the idea from this, and that's what I'm using for my picture here. But that's where I got the inspiration from Wendy. Um, so again, I'm going to take our yellow here. Now that we got our brush cleaned off, I'm going to take our yellow. And again, we're going to go back in here to the wrap first. And again, we're brightening up the colors that we have here first. And then we're going to use that same color in her blouse. There we have it. Going to go all the way around here like this. And the same thing up here. We're going to go all the way around. And you see we gave the illusion of a knot here by the way we did this. At the top here. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do the same thing we were doing before. We're going to take our yellow that we have left, and we're going to go back into the blouse. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start down at the green and work our way up. Okay. So we're going to take it, put it into the green, and then we're going to work our way up. Same thing on this side. So we're going to start with the green. See how it makes that blue color, and then we're going to actually blend it into where we had the blue. And again, using all this yellow. You see it just blends right into that, just like that. Hey, Tina. Yeah, Tina, this is, I tell people I really have the best of both worlds. I mean, to be able to do what I love and to be able to share it with you guys is really a lot of fun. And Tina, congratulations to you. For those who don't know, Tina Siemens is celebrating the second anniversary of her museum, the West Texas Living Heritage Museum. We're actually going to be here on Amazon with, that's a great plug, Tina. We're going to have Tina live with us on Amazon Live tomorrow. That's Tuesday. That is June the 17th at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. for you guys on the West Coast. She's going to be giving us a mini tour of some of the things going on. And she's also celebrating the opening of her gift shop. Now, I have some of my Amazon partners that are sending some items for the gift shop as well. From what I understand from them, it has not gotten there yet. So hopefully they will be there soon, Tina. I can't wait for you to be able to get them. So I'm going to take some of this red that we have left, guys, here as well. I'm going to bring it down into the blouse as well. And look at how this is going to blend in. So you realize with red and blue, you get purple. And watch what we're going to be able to do in blending this together. It's going to look really cool. But Tina, definitely looking forward to having you on the program tomorrow. And then, of course, seeing the continued growth of the museum and the gift shop. I'm excited about that as well. Let's see. As you can see, so we're just going to keep, and see as we layer this, it looks so cool. And we're going to take this red, just blend it right on in there like this. And we're going to go back in like this. Just keep blending it in. And I'm going to show you guys a really cool trick that I do when it comes to doing blends like this. It's going to really make it look nice and smooth. And that is we're going to add a little bit of water to it. And again, because it's acrylic paint, it mixes really well with water and gives it almost a glass look. And you guys will see that here in a bit. Again, the main thing that I've learned since I've been doing portraits and things like this is just to make sure that you keep the circular motion. You have to keep it going in a circle because otherwise it's going to mess up the illusion of it actually look like it's on someone's body. But you see how that's all just blending together there? So no matter how many colors you layer, you can still see them peeking out in there. And that's what makes it really cool. And these brushes, again, these studio art brushes, they really do a really good job. Okay, so now we're going to do the trick I was telling you guys about with the water. Let me do this side here so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to go here. Again, keeping the circular motion. Okay, now to blend the top part here with this, all we're going to do is take just a little bit of water on our brush. I'm going to clean off the excess. And watch this. We're going to start here, and we're going to blend it upward. See that? And that blends right into what we already had at the top of the blouse. See that? Isn't that cool? Do the same thing again. Add a little bit of water. Start here, then blend upward. And see it blends right into it. And again, because it is acrylic paint, it mixes well with the water. And again, it gives it almost that glass look to it, which is really cool. But you see how that blends in together, and all it takes is just a little bit of water. A little bit of water does the trick. And we're just going to go to the edges here. And you can take your time doing it. I mean, I've done this for a long time, so I can do it a little bit quicker. But take your time if you need to, if you're just starting and doing something like this, so that way you're able to watch your lines so that you're not running over the lines. I normally move a little quicker just because I've done this for so long. But you see how that all blends together? Isn't that cool? And then just take the water again, and you're going to do the same thing down here. And see, it just makes it look like all those colors are just mixed into her blouse, see? So it takes all that separation out. And all we're doing is adding just a little bit of water, and then just let it get blend out. And again, it's a great way to be able to clean off your brushes and to be able to use that excess paint that you may have out. You see how we did that? Just really cool, a really cool way to be able to blend and give you a nice looking garment there. Okay, I'm going to take this brush. I'm going to clean it off. I'm going to do just a little bit of cleanup here on this side with just a clean brush there. There we go. Oh yeah, and Tita, that is really I learned that when I was in art school, and I'm going to pick this up and let you guys see what it's looking like so you can see it closer up. But you see the detail that you're able to see, how the garment just looks like it just blends together. Isn't that cool? Let me move it this way so you guys can see better. But it's a really cool way to be able to bring it all together. So the next step we're going to do, because we still have two more colors we need to add here. Let's see what we're going to use. Let me do some orange. I won't need much. Let's see what we have here. Okay, I'm just going to use it on my regular orange. And again, this is still the studio art. I'm going to use a very little amount of this because we don't have a whole lot to do. So I'm just going to put just a smidge, just a little bit there of the orange, because we don't have a whole lot to do with the orange. I need the color, but again, I want to make sure I don't put too much so that I'm not wasting it. So we have our brush here. I'm going to make sure our brush is nice and dry. This is the brush we were using earlier. So we're going to take now our orange, and we're just going to smooth it out some there. And we're going to take it right in. So we're going to use it for here and for here. So where you see those white spots there, that's where we're going to put the orange. So let's go in here, and I'm going to put it right there. And again, keeping with the semicircle here, because again, you don't want to go straight because you want to keep that texture to it. So again, it looks like it actually is wrapped. Just like that. There. See? And then we're going to do the same thing over here in this white spot here. Again, we're going to follow the circular pattern that we have here already. Get there in the corner there. There we go. And then we're going to go straight down. Okay. There we have it. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to wait a little bit because I need to let that dry a little bit so I can see what it looks like, so I can add another layer to that. And in the interim, I'm going to go ahead and start working on a couple things on the face. So since I have this orange, I want to show you guys an interesting trick. As you guys saw, I used a color earlier called burnt umber for the skin here. I'm going to actually take my yellow in because it blends well with burnt umber, and I'm going to use that to give some more texture and depth to the face. So that's just a tip for you. Burnt umber is like a brown, so I'm mixing the orange with it, and see that gives it just another layer of texture to the face there. So just a little tip there. If you're using burnt umber, which again is a brown, it does go well with the orange. Okay. So I'm going to take this, and I just had an idea. I'm actually going to clean off this brush on my background, on my backdrop, to give this a little bit of color back here. So just adding a little bit of water. Not adding any more paint, just cleaning off what is on the brush there. And I'm doing it, if you notice, at a diagonal. I'll explain why there in a bit. Then I'm going to take some of the white that I have left on my palette. I'm going to go the opposite way. And what this does, it creates almost like a pattern in the background. So we went one angle, then we're going the other angle with the white. little bit of cleanup right here. Just using the white here as a little bit of a cleanup from earlier. Clean that off. Got a little bit of a smudge here. The good thing is because I am using water, I can be able just to use a paper towel to clean off the smudge right here. Just like that. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go back in with our orange. Going to take our brush, just going to clean it off. I'm not going to put it in water. I'm just going to pick up the orange that we had left. And we're going to go back in to where we just did. And see, it's already dried. So we're able to already go in and touch up what we did a moment ago with the orange. It's pretty cool. Just like that. Okay. See another white spot there. We're going to go ahead and fill that in. Like that. Okay. Then we're going to go in to our orange that we were doing earlier. Finish blending this side in here. Just like that. Pretty cool, huh? So I'm going to go ahead and bring that back large so you guys can see it. You know, something like this is a really, I mean, painting to me is always relaxing anyway, but I always enjoy being able to talk about what I'm doing because a lot of times when I'm just working on something, like right now, I'm illustrating a new series of children's books. And it's a lot of fun in creating the characters, but also to talk about the characters. So I'm going to come on later on this week, actually, and do a special edition of the Art Spot and introduce you guys to the characters I'm creating for my coloring books. And I'm excited about them because I have two coloring books coming out, two coloring books and children's books coming out this month here on Amazon. I illustrated them and wrote them. So I'm excited about being able to introduce you guys to Mel. Mel's Healthy Choice is one of them. And then there's Bella's Dancing Lesson. And what I've decided to do, one thing I've been working on, I'm creating some auxiliary characters too that will end up having their own stories, which I'm excited about that. But I appreciate you guys being with me as I worked on this. This was a lot of fun to do. Again, shout out to Wendy Arsad for letting me use her photo as inspiration. I really enjoyed that. And again, if you guys are into doing art projects yourself, Studio Art, as I mentioned earlier, this is a great brand. It's an affordable kit. This kit is $25.98 that I was using for this. And again, it's 54 pack. So it does come with your paint, your easel, sponges, your palette, pretty much everything you need, even a water bucket. So I definitely recommend Studio Art. It's one of those brands that you can't go wrong with. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of The Art Spot. I will be, hey, Midnight East Book Bar, good to be able to see you. I will be coming on again, as I mentioned, later on this week to introduce you guys to my new children's book characters that I've created. Again, my children's book, Bella's Dancing Lesson, will be available on Amazon next week, but you can go ahead and pre-order it now. So if you have not pre-ordered it already, you can go ahead and do that. Also, Mel's Healthy Choice is coming out next week as well. My children's book, again, I created these characters, I illustrated them, and wrote the story. So I'm excited about you guys being able to find out about them. So there we have our painting. Again, had a lot of fun with this. This, again, is done with acrylic paint, as you guys can see there. You guys saw me begin this, and I appreciate you guys being on the journey with me to doing it. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon here on the Art Spot. Take care.